All right, you guys, welcome back. Appreciate you being here. Some video that I took in Manasquan. This is a couple weeks ago as Aaron was offshore and just chewing up the beaches. And I went all the way down through Sea Isle City, Ocean City. We just took a big beating with the waves all across the eastern seaboard. And you can see the way it looks with more of that action as we had the waves go right through the Caribbean and around areas like Bermuda as well. So listen, we've got the possibility of seeing our next named storm out there over the next few days, the G-name storm. And if we don't get it today, it may put us behind schedule for the Atlantic average-wise, which nobody's complaining about. So let's chat about it. The state of the tropics. We've got Mike Boylan, a storm chaser and blogger behind Mike's weather page. Mike, it's Wednesday. It's always good to talk to you, my friend. And listen, we're a week away from the peak of hurricane season. We may see the G-name storm. I mean, it's still up in the air at this point where they're going to get it today or about 48 hours from now, right?
Yeah, it's nearing that peak. You know, I feel the anxiety. Everybody's, oh, season's over. It's a bust. And no, right? We know what's coming, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah, you remember last year we didn't have a named storm during the peak, which was September 10th. And you know what happened then? You were chasing Helene, and then you had Milton right on the heels of that. And, man, at west coast of Florida, this is the time of year you start looking, okay, over your shoulder, what's coming at us next?
Yeah, that yesterday's Outlook, came out, highlighting the 2 weeks there in September, and that's kind of where we start looking. You get that CAG set up, and a lot of moisture from that Pacific flows around, and then he's got these fronts that lift and turn. I mean, you hate to see it, but with these fronts they're a good thing for the East Coast this time of year. I was telling everybody on my little show this morning, but they're actually bad for the Gulf side because they lift and turn and they fuel sometimes these storms. I'll never forget the Ian satellite. That front was pumping in energy, wrapping around, and it's crazy how these fronts have such a big influence.
Yeah, it is. So you're right. The cold front's going to be a nice shield for the East Coast from North Florida all the way up through Maine, but you get a little circulation developing right there on the tail end of it, and all of a sudden it's game time for you for the central Gulf of America.
Yeah, that's the MJO, everything's lining up. I mean, I hate to. You don't want to sound like you're hyping anything, but man, those ocean heat content numbers are right there, the top three that we've seen in the last 15 years, and
we are.
It's still hot. All that energy is just, waiting to be used for something.
Oh, let's just hope not. But you're right. But Mike, what do you think about the steering flow coming in for what could be the G-name storm? Every storm so far we've seen now, it's done a nice little turn up the eastern seaboard in a way, like Aaron. I think this might be similar. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm still hesitant. I hate to ever say never. Never say never in the tropics is what I say, because then it can bite you. And even the latest GFS running now, it looks like there's it's trying to block that high, sealing that roadway out of here. But yeah, you got to go with those ensembles and the majority. One thing I've been noticing too, I don't know if you have, but the AI the models this year seem to be struggling a lot with development and ensembles. So I've kind of been leaning on the Euro and GFS ensembles, and right now it does appear it's going to feel that front and turn on out of here.
No, I agree with you. I mean, they have to prove themselves. I mean, they need a couple more years possibly to learn from what's going on, and they're certainly going to have a lot of data if they go way back to years like 2020 when we had all those named storms. So yeah, we're watching that.
Crazy year.
For certain. I mean, it really was. But now you're right. We're a week away from the peak. I mean, these are the most formative portions of the year. You talk about the Gulf is open for business, the Caribbean, even though it's a little more hostile, and then MDR. Your experiences chasing these September storms, I mean, listen, these can get scary real quick, right?
Oh, yeah. Irma was, for me, I didn't chase Irma, but that was, watching that track across the Atlantic, and then, Florence was another long track storm. And then, of course, I started chasing there with some footage from Ian. That was the size of that storm, it expanded, it was strengthening at landfall. It seemed like it stopped for just hours. And, listening to folks that wrote it out, it was the most, treacherous 6 to 8 hours of their lives. It just didn't want to leave. And then the water started coming up. And I listened to your show earlier. We had flooding on the other side of the coast, and the seawall started coming down. And it's such a massive storm. So it's weird in September because we have them coming from both directions.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Florida, you got to have your head on a swivel. I mean, there's no question. You've got that. And then, so that was Ian. You chased that one. I remember that one, too. I wrote it out safely in Destin. I mean, I was way away from that. But when I drove towards Panama City, man, I saw what it had done. So that was Ian. Then he went to Helene. This is last year. And Helene came in roaring right through the Big Bend area and then rained itself out. But you chased that one, too.
Oh yeah, I was in the Tallahassee area, and it was at night. The trees going down was what I'll first remember was just Interstate 10 was just blocking tree after tree after tree after tree. So when sunrise came, I drove over here to Keaton Beach, and it was like a bomb went off. I've never seen anything like it. A little place called Cedar Island right next to it.
Right.
220 homes. I think 200, they told me, were knocked off their foundations.
Oh.
And then I drove down south to Steenhatchee here, and a real famous restaurant called Roy's. That I met the owners over the years, and it was gone. And I remember hearing stories that Roy's is gone. Mike, Roy's is gone. I'm like, it can't be gone,
Yeah.
And it was quite a ways from the landfall, and there it was, at a little bar across the street that I was at months before, and just crazy. I stayed at that hotel right there in the second floor. Just the power of the water and seeing how high the surge was away from landfall. This is Steenhatchee, quite a few miles, from where Helene actually made landfall there.
And Mike, just looking at your videos too, when you send them to us, they're just insane. So over the years, I've actually learned to hate hurricanes. I hate them. I mean, I love watching them form and all that stuff, but then when it comes ashore, man, there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than when that comes through. So let's get away from that. Let's talk about our dogs, right? Is Longo, your new puppy, is he going to go out with you in these storms too? This is my girl right here. That's Phoebe in the snow from this past year.
Awesome.
There's Longo. Let's see Longo.
Yeah, he's up there. Our other dog's semi-famous, so I'm trying to make him as popular. He's only 4 months old. He yawns a lot. He doesn't like his dad talking. But he's pretty good. I've already got him trained. Thunderstorms don't bother him. The only thing that got him worked up was the flyover at Daytona, but I think he'll be a good storm chaser.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you got to work him in young. Is he doing the eye roll with you too when you talk too much about the storms? Is he all...
He yawns a lot, so I get that from my whole family, my wife, my kids. Nobody, I'm my biggest fan. I have to tell my own stories to myself. They don't want to. I'm like, did you watch me on Fox Weather? Did I tell my wife? No.
No, me too. And my wife is the same. This is our snowstorm we had in January. I got my dog. I put the little puppy jacket on Phoebe right there. She's a boxer, so she needs it because she has bristles. But I'm right there with you, pal. When you're talking about okay, no one's watching. Okay. Welcome to the party, my friend. Cheers to you, Mike. Cheers.
I love it, man.
It's good to see you, Mike.
Well,
hey, next week we'll talk on the peak of the hurricane season, September 10th, right on Wednesday.
Isn't it kind of crazy too that Arizona and Hawaii are going to be watching for impacts?
Tucson is in
the tropics.
Tucson is in an air cone. I mean, you're right. When was the last time we saw that happen? Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point.
Right.
So we'll talk about that stuff too, Mike. It's always great to talk to you, my friend. And next week, same time, right, buddy?
Yeah, always. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. Good to talk to you. Mike Boylan out there from Mike's Weather Page. Always good.